Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily energy check. Today we're going to do a classic check-in. We'll see what's going on with divine feminine, divine masculine collective, and what do we need to know about the journey specifically, one specific aspect of it, and then we'll get some messages between the twins. As always, we will start with an oracle message, and today I brought my archetypes deck. So we'll get the first message for divine feminines watching. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm at this point, I've uploaded most of the videos for the December updates. Took me a little longer, was dealing with some stuff personally, so it's like, yeah, it just, plus there was Thanksgiving, where it almost slipped my mind that this is the very end of the month and this is when I'm supposed to be uploading them, because I already have certain things that I do on Thanksgiving, like, you know, meeting up people for dinner and setting up my tree and watching the parade. So none of those days included recording December horoscopes in my agenda. But yeah, I'm catching up now, and then I had more stuff going on that I just needed to deal with. And the interesting part about being a tarot reader or doing something around intuition and, you know, working with people through communicating with them is that you need to be in a grounded, good space yourself. If you're not having a good day, it's almost pointless. Imagine that, think about it for a moment. And yeah, of course, you can do a meditation to ground yourself back, but if you are, you know, in a hard space, then sometimes it's just easier to take a day off and reschedule, even if you had some sessions with people, because there's a good chance that you won't be able to connect on a high quality level, and this collaboration is not going to be good quality either. But anyway, I'm good, I'm back. So let's see what we have for divine feminine collective. First of all, of course, if you like what I'm doing, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers. That would be an exciting milestone. It used to be the one where you can apply for monetization. It's not the only criteria anymore, but at least it's something more symbolic for me now, because I've been trying different things with this channel, so it would be great to, it would feel good to get to that place. And look at that, we got the heart, number 31. I've never had this card from this deck before, but I mean, no surprise, it's a big deck. So let me just read this because I feel like it's very important. Heart could be like, it's one of the basic elements that we're talking about all the time anyway, in the sense of, you know, the twin flame journey, the spiritual journey, the light work, but let's see what they give us here. So the main concepts here are the home, the center, the throne. It is possible from an imaginal point of view to sense the heart as a place. Either we are there within the realm of expansion and compassion, or we have drifted somewhere else. There's no in-between. It is common for us to leave this archetypal center without realizing it, as the world, with its seductive twists and turns, offers us frequent departure. We may even become a stranger to the landscape of the heart, leaving it vacant for long stretches of time. The seat of the heart is often reclaimed by nature, music, dance, and the presence of children or animals. This card encourages us to move past the layers of life's tangles and knots and enter the wild and sacred center of the self. The most precious throne in the galaxy is awaiting your return. Beautiful. How often do you check in with your heart and notice that if you're present there? It's a very good question, isn't it? Let's see what we have for divine masculines today. The gem. Oh, look at that. I mean, this kind of looked like a gem too, so it's very interesting. But this is an actual gem, yes. So let's see, I think it's 61. No, it's something else. I guess it's 56. There are infinite names for the gem. Oh, by the way, the concepts here are the diamond, the gold, the inner treasure. It is also known as the jewel, the star, the talent, the gift, the gold. One thing for certain is that it is found deep within a substance that is very much unlike it. For example, a diamond in the rough. The gem always stands in contrast to its surroundings. You can't find it when you're among comforts and pleasantries. Precious stones develop slowly deep in the earth, amid pressure and darkness. Discovering the gem requires a descent beneath the surface, where there is no definitive map. Yet the longing to touch the true gem within us is so strong that we cannot help but seek out its radiance. Your gem, like your destiny, is unlike any other in the entire world. Keep digging. It reminded me actually about another card I had in the Sacred Traveler deck that's about hidden treasure. Very similar message, but I agree that, and I was actually, that came up in one of my sessions with a client, and we were talking about, she was just telling me something about herself and like looking for a new place in the world in terms of her occupation and where she would find her calling. And she said something like, I don't really have many talents. And then this card comes up. I'm like, well, you see, first of all, you do, obviously. And second of all, a lot of times, you know, this treasure, the calling for it, like we think of a treasure as, you know, the finances, something on the outside, something tangible. But it starts actually from the hidden treasure that's inside you. It's like a conversion rate, right? Like it converts the energy within to the energy without, and how it then represented with money, with resources, with whatever it is you're looking for. So yeah, looking for a gem doesn't involve looking on the outside. That's my point. Okay, let's get on with the read. Haven't seen you guys for a couple of days, so that's why this is a little long, but we'll speed up. 7 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, we are in that kind of crossroady space, especially with Pluto moving in Aquarius, and suddenly we sense this energy of freedom and space and more of a global frequency, you know, where it's new, it's unfamiliar, and it may feel either overwhelming, or we may not see, like, what am I supposed to do with it? Like, what is this even? And we have death here for the clarifier, right? I was talking about death and rebirth in one of the previous readings. For those of you who follow my channel, that, you know, death card is actually both death and rebirth anyway. But those are still two different processes. You can't have them in parallel. It's death and then rebirth. And so I was just telling in another video that I got a download that the death part was the Scorpio season, and now we are in the rebirth part of it, the Sagittarius season, that will last for another 3 weeks or so. 3 weeks? Something like that. And so yeah, this is the time where things are new and confusing, because rebirth is not about rebuilding the same thing that just died, right? We want to build something new. So we need to look up some information, teach ourselves. We need to ask the experts in this area, like, how do you go about this, or how do you build this kind of thing, you know, and then start building, but with a very much open mind. And that's the scariest part. Speaking of which, Divine Feminine, you have the Tower clarified by 6 of Cups. There's new information here. Well, it's the Tower moment, right? Something new and unexpected that comes to light about the soul connection with someone. It's a very strong soul connection. It can be with your twin, but doesn't have to be. If you know that there are other people in your life, or at least you acknowledge some people who were in your life, who are your soulmates and were there for a very important reason, then this is the time when this comes up. So, like, an example, maybe there was a friendship in your life where this person played a very important role, but you haven't been in touch. Like, then it ended, the contract was complete, and you parted ways. maybe you haven't been in touch for 10 years. And it doesn't even necessarily mean that the person will resurface. It could be, but it doesn't have to. The memory of those events is gonna resurface for you. And you'll receive some new information about what was all that about. Why did it happen that way? What did it mean? And that's gonna change everything. Masculines, you have the Knight of Pentacles clarified by the Chariot. So yeah, quite a lot of major arcana already. Very interesting, right? Because the Knight of Pentacles is quite a slow knight. In this deck, it's not even moving really. I mean, I think in any deck, it's kind of like that. The knight is either just standing on the horse or standing by the horse. And then the Chariot is, on the contrary, it's fast movement. It's the desire to go as fast as possible, right? It's like, I know this is the right thing to do and I'm going for it, right? Without much consideration or preparation or planning. So it's a very interesting, and this is major arcana. So the divine is trying to bring in more spontaneity in the way the masculines are moving forward, so that they're not overly cautious and they're not missing important opportunities while they're playing everything, like downplaying things or playing it safe, you know, where they are under evaluating their own capabilities, and where they may not necessarily feel like they're ready for the big move, the big change in their life, right? So they're being like kind of poked by the divine, by the universe, to make changes. Additional question. The Sun clarified by Ace of Swords. I love everything about this combination, right? Even the fact that it has two children here, and we are in twin flame reading, right? It's beautiful that it has this inner children playing together, right? Like that's that image of the paradise where it's like eternal sunshine, eternal joy, where there's no war, there's no suffering, right? It's just like this transformative space. It's almost like it's, you know, a certain kind of, it's a different, what's it called? It's like when you're in a trance, you know, you go to a different place with your consciousness. It's a changed space, right? And that's what I'm getting here. It's very honest. So it feels like a dream, but then you quickly realize when you're in it that that feels like the truest thing in your life, like the most truest thing. And then it's like, well, was the rest of my life a dream? And this is the real thing. It's that kind of moment. What do the feminines need to know about this? Ten of Swords clarified by Knight of Swords. Yeah, so there may be, if you are not ready for that image, there may be some denial and some resistance still within you, where you're telling yourself like, you know what, this all looks good, but like this is my imagination. Yeah, it's wishful thinking, but clearly based on the facts that I know, you know, they can, you know, what other people have told me and what my DM has told me, this is not in the cards. Or there's been just so much pain back and forth between us that it's just not in the cards, it's not gonna happen, right? So there is this resistance that the feminines have towards when they even maybe feel the energy of that Sun card that I just explained, right? They immediately kind of like jump off from it and be like, no, 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 no. And guess what? For the masculines, we have Nine of Swords clarified by King of Pentacles. So the Nine of Swords is the card of sleepless nights. It has the moon here. It's the card of anxiety. It's the card of worry. And the masculines are resisting that image because they are worried too much about the material side of life. You know, it's about, there are always things like, you know, job security and bank account statement and bills and charges I'm getting, taxes, lawsuits, like all kinds of things that are the external, right? And there's so much happening there. It's almost like they don't allow themselves to just like melt into that vision that I just described, because they feel like they have so much responsibility in 3D world connected to finances, to status, to different social roles, that they can't let go ever, So even when they're like in their calm state, you know, when we usually, like, let's say after meditation or before we go to bed, when we're in like this calm state, and it's usually easier to access those kind of visions that I explain. They're like not letting go. Their brain doesn't let go of the 3D reality, so cannot access that beauty and that happiness. And remember, why is that vision important? Because some of you may be asking me, that's just a vision, so what? But remember that our brain doesn't differentiate between what's real and what's imaginary. And that's why it matters, because these kind of visions, they enrich your space. They give you more confidence and hope and enthusiasm, right? And just general joy from just being in that space and breathing that air and being in that moment. Okay, for message from the feminine to the masculine, we have Ace of Wands in reverse and the Tower. So another Tower in this reading for the feminines. So the feminines are basically saying that, yeah, you know, I'm dealing with a lot right now. Some new information came to light and it stopped me on my journey towards my passion or my desires, right? I just realized that there are some faults there. There is something defective there in my vision, or, you know, in my set of values, or just generally in my on this path, on this timeline, right? I realized that I have some things wrong that I need to revisit. So that's what I'm dealing with right now, so I can reconcile the Tower moment and I can get back to that enthusiasm and to that drive that I had before, with the newfound truth and newfound sense of calm and groundedness. Message from the masculine to the feminine, the Chariot. So another synchronicity for the divine masculines, clarified by 9 of Pentacles. So 9 of Cups, I'm sorry. Masculines are saying, right now I feel a strong push to move forward with living my life, my best life, whether it's my personal growth, it's my partnership with you, it's doing the thing that I've always wanted to do in my life, it's living where I want to live. You know, it's like there's, you know, no day like today. Life is too short, you need to get going, right? And deep down, I know that this is the dream, that it's not just somebody telling me to do this, this is what I want. But right now, it's still difficult to have enough courage to take those steps. I'm taking some steps, but not enough steps to gain the momentum. So I'm looking at how I can find that middle ground where I don't just go off the rails completely and risk everything in my life that I've worked so hard for, but I can give this new path a chance so that I don't miss my opportunity for probably the happiest time of my life. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I am gonna leave it at that. I hope this was useful to you. If so, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. And until next time,